We all know that cheating sucks and it immediately kills the fun of any game you're playing, but what about single-player games? Surely you're not hurting anyone if you try and cheat in a single-player game, right? Some developers would disagree with you, and some developers have decided they didn't want anyone cheating too much in their games at all, and they put hilarious systems in place to make sure you were playing fair, even if you weren't hurting anyone. What is up, guys? Jimmy or Chaos, welcome to Chaos Top 10s. Today, we're going to be taking a look at and counting down 10 of the best video game punishment systems put there by the developers. These are the systems put in video games to keep you playing fair, even when you aren't playing in multiplayer. We are running a $200 Amazon gift card giveaway the entire month. All you have to do to enter is like this video, be subscribed, turn on your notifications, and leave a comment why you want to win it with your Twitter handle attached. I will announce the winner at the end of the month on Twitter. Kicking off our list today is SimCity, and these games have always had cheat codes, some helpful, some not so helpful. However, even the helpful ones come at a price. One of the most popular codes, FUND, F-U-N-D, will grant you an extra $10,000 to spend on your city. However, if you use it more than 8 times, the game will get fed up with you asking for money, and it will spawn an earthquake that destroys your entire city. The FUND code returned in SimCity 2000, once again, giving you an extra $10,000, and if you have no limit to how many times you can use it, but you'll have to be careful because the game also puts a 25% loan on each of the $10,000 transactions. So good luck paying all of that back. At number 9, we have Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening. The shops in the Zelda games all function very differently, especially when it comes to the payment part of the transaction. Some of the Zelda games don't actually let you pick up items before you pay, but in Link's Awakening, you could actually pick things up around the shop before you even hand any money over. Nothing could go wrong there, right? That being said, you can also just walk out of the shop without paying, but you are in for a world of hurt if you choose to do so. If you steal anything from the shop, the game will brand you as thief. And if you grow a conscience and try to return the items, the shopkeeper absolutely will never forgive you, and he'll probably just attack you. Long story short here, don't steal. Definitely don't steal items from the shops in Link's Awakening because there is no good outcome with this. At number 8, we have Slender: The Arrival. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm not sure what the point of playing a horror game is if you're just going to skip all the scary parts. Whatever the reason may be, when Slender: The Arrival first came out, players quickly found an exploit that allowed them to get out of the map, which meant they could walk through entire levels without the enemies being able to catch them. Now, the developers weren't happy about this, obviously, so they decided to keep the glitch in and use it as an opportunity to scare the cheaters even more than the regular players. If the game detected you going out of the map, it would send you falling through the floor to your death, where you would come face to face with, you guessed it, the Slender Man, who would tell you that not even a bug in this game can save you from him. And the first time this probably happened to somebody using this exploit, they probably literally crapped their pants. At number 7, we have a game called Heretic, released in '94 and developed by Raven Software. Heretic is an FPS running on ID Software Doom's engine that it has you fighting through hordes of demons, much like Doom. Although it's a very unique style compared to the game it was inspired by, the fact is Heretic is one of the first FPS games to ever allow the player to look up and down. What? Those played Doom and Heretic were in for a surprise when they tried to use some of Doom's cheat codes in the game, as Raven Software decided to troll the gaming world by having them do the opposite effect that they did in Doom. So, if you entered the IDKFA code, which gave you unlimited ammo, armor, and health in Doom, you would end up losing all of your health and armor in the game, and the game would write you as a cheater. You don't deserve weapons across your screen, so it's a big troll. At number 6, we have Animal Crossing, and I'm sure some of you guys know how to abuse save files in games, right? You know, you're going to go to fail a level or something, so you quickly shut the game down before it saves your failure and restart it so the fail didn't count. Nothing ever happened, right? It's a pretty common strategy in gaming, but Animal Crossing actually figured out a genius way to make sure you don't do this. If the game detects you're doing this little save exploit, it will spawn a character named Mr. Resetti who will lecture you about playing fair and not cheating. And you cannot skip his monologue, so you're forced to actually sit here and listen to him. Plus, every time that you do the exploit after he catches you, he'll get more and more frustrated with you and lecture you for longer amounts of time. So, while Animal Crossing doesn't exactly punish you for using exploits, it does the next best thing. It simply wastes your time and has a guy that lectures you. Cracking into the top 5 today, Star Wars Dark Forces. This FPS was released all the way back in 1995. It featured some pretty fun sci-fi shooter action as you played as a rebel mercenary blasting through Imperial troops. That's awesome, right? The game was heavily inspired by Doom and thus had a few cheat codes involved, including a God mode cheat. However, you probably felt a little lame typing this code in. Why? Why, you ask? Why, Jimmy? Well, because the code for God mode is literally, I am lame. I have to say, it's a pretty good way to keep people from over-cheating, but then again, the ones that want to cheat and want to do the God mode, they probably don't care to type I am lame because they probably know that they're pretty lame, so they just accept it, and that's their fate, and they type away. At number 4, we have Donkey Kong 64. Classic game right here. One of the best platforming games of all time, and Rare really wanted to make sure that everyone was playing it the right way. Around the time that the game came out, Game Sharks was very popular. For those that don't remember what that is or weren't gaming at the time, Game Sharks was a little device you could use to rewrite certain parts of the code, allowing you to cheat in it, and it was basically the earliest form of hacking in a game. Well, the Game Genie as well. Rare wanted to make sure that the Game Shark wasn't going to be a problem, so they put a genius system in place. In DK64, if it detected a Game Shark messing with the code, the game would essentially break itself. You could no longer jump, pick up items, save your game, and you would die in a single hit, and none of the changes could be reversed. Your cartridge was permanently broken. Now, some people weren't too happy with this, and I get it, but that's the ultimate way to stop you from cheating. At number 3, we have another classic, Banjo-Kazooie, another classic Rareware platformer, actually, and it featured a plethora of cheat codes that you could use to your advantage, as did most games at the time, but you had to be careful using the higher tier cheat codes. There were plenty of regular, less impactful codes you could use without consequence, but if you managed to find the level skip code, you had to be very, very sparingly with your use. In fact, if you used the super powerful cheat codes too many times, Gruntilda would pop out and tell you to stop. And if you did it one more time after that, she would just delete your save file. Now, that's harsh. I mean, all that work, all those saves, if you're not going to listen, it's just gone. Wiped out completely. I think it's pretty awesome myself. At number 2, we have a 2015 RPG that is widely regarded as one of the best games ever made and features an extremely detailed open world for you to explore and interact with. What do you think it is? The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. If you guessed that, you guessed correctly. One of the things you can do in the game's world is raise animals and then use them for meat or materials. And after the game came out, some players figured out an exploit that would pretty much make you filthy rich with no consequence. There are 2 cows in one of the stables that respawn in an hour if they're killed. If you knew this, you could just kill the cows, use them for leather to sell, and then manipulate the game clock, and you could just keep repeating the process until you had all the money you could ever want. Developer CD Projekt Red, obviously, they weren't a fan of this, so they decided to have a little fun with those that did it. Instead of just patching out the exploit, they decided to roll out an update containing a brand new monster that would only spawn if the game detected you were doing the cow glitch. This monster was extremely tough to kill, and if you managed to take it out, another one would spawn right in it when you finished it off, essentially guaranteeing that you're going to die. And some would say it serves you right for killing all of those cows. And finally, at number 1 today, I want you to guess really quick. What do you think took the number 1 spot? Let me know in the comment section. If you guessed Afterlife, you would be correct. Being a huge Star Wars fan, this one had to be number 1. Afterlife is a god game from '96 that was basically SimCity set in heaven and hell, where you had to manage the different areas and make sure everything was functioning properly. A very original concept for a game. Like SimCity, the game features some cheats to help you keep things running smoothly and features its own equivalent of the fun cheat, and this one is called as you see, the symbol cheat. However, once again, like SimCity, if you use the cheat too many times, the game will get fed up with you not playing legit, and it will spawn the Death Star to come in and destroy your creations. That's right, you heard me, the Death Star from Star Wars. Thanks to Afterlife being developed by LucasArts, there are tons of Star Wars references hidden in it, but the fact that the actual Death Star destroys your progress if you cheat too much is beyond deserving of the number 1 spot on this list today, if you ask me. This is by far the best one. And there you have it, my friends. Those are 10 of the best video game punishment systems ever put in places. Let me know if you've actually ever encountered any of these. Have you ever cheated too much and you got punished by the game? I definitely want to know. Circle of Trust. You can let us know here in the comment section on the video. And as always, guys, there's a playlist below with all the other video game top 10s that go up. If you would, take a second, subscribe, drop a like if you enjoyed the video. Turn on those notifications so you never get cheated by YouTube when a new video goes up. I hope you guys have a fantastic night, and I'll see you tomorrow for a new one.